Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to a Let's Play of Hearts of Iron 4, playing as the United Kingdom at war against Germany. Now, in between episodes, I did ask the Dutch AI to hand us over all of northern Germany over here with the consoler command, simply because I think it's just much easier if I do control that. It's not too big a cheat, really, so yeah, I think that's going to be alright. We are defending over here. You know what? Can we actually push up against this location here, I wonder? So yeah, if you guys could sort of kindly attack here and you guys maybe support that, I think that would be fabulous. Yeah, you guys should overwhelm the Germans up there quite easily. That's nice. Ooh, land and lease. Yeah, I'm gladly gonna accept support equipment from the United States because that is very, very precious to me, and that is fantastic. Yeah. So, things are going relatively well over here, I would say. Very nice. We are defending over there, so that's good to see. And indeed, I do think very soon we are going to be able to push out the Germans here out of Schleswig-Holstein, which should be alright. There we go, yeah. You know what, let's assign all of you guys towards this here. And indeed, let's attack over here. You there, this gentleman here is gonna, yeah, you can support that attack. But you know what, I think you're all properly attacking there, so that's going to be alright as well. So yeah, fine. Good. We are not quite in control over this state, the Rhineland, which is one of the most industrialized states of Germany, with 11 factories here. Quite a couple of factories in this province too, though, so if we can push out the Germans from over here, that might not be the worst idea either. But you know what, let's wait here for a second. I'm also going to ask these guys here to just pursue their attacks into this area here. You shouldn't be overly aggressive, my friends. You shouldn't really do that, but I would like it to attack. Now, where could I set the aggressiveness? I know I could do that somewhere. Well, I don't know. Anyway, we've developed the Burma Road, so that's lovely to see. What else do we want to do? Well, we could sanction Japan. I do like the idea of building up Hong Kong a little bit, though. So yeah, let's go ahead with that. That should be fine. That should also give us a decision here to expand the Burma Road. I don't exactly know what that does. Oh, okay, it does simply improve the infrastructure there, but that's a good idea. I would very much like to support China in its struggle here against Japan, so that should be lovely. Greece, doing pretty badly down there. Things are okay in northern Italy, so that's good, and France is not collapsing randomly on itself either, so that's fantastic as well. You guys should really stop all of these stupid attacks here. They are not going to go anywhere. Good. You, my friends, can attack over here, though. Try to cross that land bridge over here. And at the same time, maybe even push up this way over there so that we are sort of outflanking the Germans into Denmark. That's lovely to see. We are losing a convoy here, that's not too bad. Speaking of losing convoys, Bomber Command in early 1941. So, as I said last time, over the winter they really were trying to attack the oil targets in Germany. But that changed about in December, January. It was very bad weather over Germany, actually. So really, Bomber Command didn't really do too much in the very early parts. And then in about, I think it was about March, they got the order to actually stop their attacks on the oil targets and actually go for something else. And that something else is quite interesting because it would resurface later in the war as a targeting system. And that was, they were supposed to go for the German... Excuse me, what are you doing? This is not a proper attack here. This is not really well supported. Yeah, so in March 1941, the Bomber Command gets the idea to target the German U-boat systems. So instead of targeting anything in terms of the German industry, they now have two targets really. One is the French west coast, so areas like Nantes, Lorient, Brest, Bordeaux, so all of these areas that are hosting the German U-boat campaign against the United Kingdom in particular. This is the only time really that the British do actively attack attack Allied regions. So usually the British were really reluctant to attack any of these targets too aggressively. Ooh, this is not going quite as well as I would have hoped. Right, let's try to get you over there. Yeah, but we are pushing into Denmark, and that's nice, and I think we will be liberating them very soon. And it is nice that someone did offer their services just like over there. Good. Jesus, I do need to stop these stupid attacks. I mean, Cologne over here is a tempting target, as is this area of the Rhineland. And still this area up here is also quite tempting. I mean, these tanks here will be difficult to break, so I'm not too fond of attacking them. But I suppose what we can do is we can try to push into here. So let's try to get into this area here, into this, I think it's the Sauerland region. So that should be okay, and you know what, you can try to support that attack. We are getting more military factories, and that's pretty lovely here. Is there anything that we are particularly short on? Yeah, still supply equipment. Support equipment. We are producing quite a bit of that, but it's really not enough, is it? Now that being said, let's do produce a little bit more in terms of military factories as well. And let's also look at our construction. Yeah, you can see all of the damage that we have dealt to the German infrastructure, so let's try to repair that, and I think that would be a good idea. Firstly, I do want to repair the civilian infrastructure though, simply because I think that might be the best to sort of snowball out of this a little bit. That might be okay. Right, we also have free dockyards. Well, if that's not nice, then I don't know what is. So let's do produce a couple of convoys here, although I do suspect that we do need some repairs as well for some of our ships. Is that the case? No, it does not seem to be the case, so that's fantastic actually. I would have expected that we have tremendous difficulties here with some of our fleets. But really we don't. Nice, okay, I like that. We don't need to be too aggressive here. I do want to build up our fuel reserves a little bit, so let's not be overly excited there. You guys can stop here for a second. You guys are capturing that, then let's try to double back onto that area. And yeah, once we have Copenhagen, I'm fairly confident that we will be doing pretty well over here. Let's do push up whenever we can, if there's no opposition. That's fantastic. Right, so apart though from the attacks on France, the British historically did also attack some other actions. Ooh, Greece exile, that's not good, but it is nice to get a little bit of equipment, I think. These are dark times. Someone is captured, so we do need to free you from here. Let's try to do that. Yeah, I think the Germans do have a pretty strong system over there, but strong defenses. But yeah, let's see. Right, you're going there. That's fantastic. Let's get up over here. We do have a decision available, and that is all of the Greek stuff. Yeah, we don't really purge Greek infiltrators. I think that's new. Joint training exercise. Yeah, you know what? We can do that. That's definitely a possibility here. It only costs us military power, which is not that important. Daily exile manpower. You know what? I do like that idea here. So yeah, let's continue to do that. And that's fine. Free military factories, I think again, yeah, most of these guys here are suffering anyway, and we do need yet more aluminium, so let's buy that from whatever is available. So that's fine. More decisions available. Infiltration. Yeah, okay, fine. Assembly line production done as well, so that's good to see. So that does give us a little bit more boost there in terms of our production. Fairly lovely. Good. Anything else in terms of industry? Yeah, I do think construction is factory repair speed. That is going to come in handy. So yeah, I do think that is a good idea. Purge Greek infiltrators. Daily legitimacy gain, daily democratic support. Effects when removed, we get a little bit of political power. Okay, so that's fine. And yeah, I do want to have some more factories. That's perfectly lovely as well, especially if it does help us repair all of this stuff over here. That honestly we bombed, but you know, what can we do? Right, you're attacking over there, that's fine. Let's just support this attack. Let's get you over here towards this harbour, because that's something I would really like to take out. Okay, you guys can go down there, but you don't really need to. Speaking of over here though, let's try to make our way along the coast there. This is a lot of leaders that we are getting all of a sudden. Right, now this is the only province here that I would like to take then. Right, let's try to move into there. And I think most of our troops... You know what? This is a very open area over here. Let's try to do some attacks over here along this line. The Germans are fairly weak over there all of a sudden. It's definitely nice to see. Ooh, Jesus. How many Greeks are we going to get? Right, you guys are all dealing with these Germans, that's fairly lovely there. You know what? You guys can go back to being down here. Let's realign you towards that. You guys are fine over here. Let's move into this last corner of Denmark over there. And that basically frees all of Denmark, and that is a good result for us. Great. Everyone is moving down to the south. That's also lovely. 3 military factories. Yeah, still suffering from the production deficits there. But yeah, I suppose what we can... Well, we could also... Yeah, you know what we're going to do is we're going to build a couple of bow fighters. So we're going to found another squadron over here. And these guys are only there to convert these guys. And that's fine because that somewhat allows us to take care of the overflow there. And that's going to be alright. Good. You guys... You've now finally gotten the entirety of this state, which is lovely. But on the other hand, these attacks over here are not quite as useful anymore as they were. I suppose we can concentrate on a couple of targets though, and that might be over here and there. Try to support you there, that's fine. Let's try to support you from here as well, so that we have just a little bit more combat with, and that's going to be alright. Yeah, I think it was a very temporary respite that we had over there. Nevertheless, let's try to push up wherever we find favourable conditions. As we do over here in Lübeck, these guys are very low on organisation, so that's a very good target there. Modernization, public recognition. What does that cost us? Political power gain, legitimacy? No, we're not going to do that. We do need the political power, really. Right, yeah. Fairly lovely over there, though. That's nice. That's nice. Cologne, yeah, we didn't really make it through over there. You know what, let's try to be a bit more aggressive here then. Let's try to be a bit more aggressive over here then. Let's try to attack with anyone who's sort of vaguely capable of doing that. Yeah, we do need you to join up the attack a little bit more quickly though. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that is going to have a huge effect there, but all in all the Germans are definitely suffering over here. Let's actually look at their industrial strength. So yeah, you can see their nominal amount of factories is coming down pretty aggressively over here, and at this point they're down to probably 150 factories. Most of their stuff is damaged, and by the way, if we do look at Italy, you can see that 70% of their combat of their military factories are in fact damaged. So that is very, very good to see for us. Right, and we are slowly but surely really cutting into their capabilities here ever more. So that's very, very nice to see. Happy about that. Good. Yeah, we have made it to Lübeck over here. And in fact, we might actually make a dash here on Rostock itself, so that we have yet another foothold on their coast over there. This position down here doesn't look too strong either, so maybe we're going to make some progress there. Yeah, but over here this has failed, so let's not try to encourage failure too much. And I think what we indeed need to do is stop your advance over here so that you can rest and repair a little bit more. In fact, what we might want to do is delete this front line over here and simply define a new one that is going to be somewhat to Frankfurt, and then on the River Main somewhat over there to Erfurt. I think that's going to be an okay plan. But yeah, we do need to spend some time here building up these plans. Right, speaking of, I guess we could potentially do the staff office plan to build up these attacks a little bit more aggressively, and that should be lovely. Good. Submarine sunk there. I'm going to take one Italian submarine against one of our convoys any day of the week, so that should be good. Nice. Up over here, okay, we have not made it into Rostock, and I'm now slightly concerned about this position here, so let's try to make our way into there simply by overwhelming them from multiple directions, pushing them out of there, and that's fine. United States cancelling the Lenten lease. That's unfortunate, but really not too surprising. Yeah, no specifically extremely weak point on the German lines here, but that's fine. So, as I was saying, historically, Bomber Command does not only target the shipyard, the navy yards themselves in France, but also the areas where they think that submarines are being built, which is predominantly Hamburg, a little bit Gdansk. But a little bit more importantly, they are also trying to smash the factories where the Focke-Wulf 200, I think, is built, and that is... Oh, we've done fuel refining. That's super useful because that will allow us to get a little bit more out of our fuel supply there. Great. We're researching this, that's fine. We could do something like logistics companies, maintenance companies might be nice as well, just to grab a little bit of stuff. But honestly, I don't think we need that, strictly speaking. This stuff here is just a little bit too much ahead of time, so I don't think we're going to do that. Up over here, conversion might be nice, not super useful. Radar I would like to do, but it's ahead of time and we don't really have a bonus yet, so I'm not going to pick that. Naval doctrine, always useful. Naval stuff, always useful. Land doctrine, we are researching at any rate, so that's fine. Slightly better AA, useful but not very. So I think what we're actually going to do is we are going to go ahead and research the Mosquito over here. It's going to take an awful long time to do that, but I would like to get our air experience in on a new fighter here as fast as possible. And that is going to be extremely useful. Right, okay, we have conquered this area there, that's lovely. I think we can try to push up over here into these areas that are sort of open to attack anyway. Just try to overwhelm them if we are here anyway, so that should definitely... Come on, all of this combat within, you're not really joining in. Yeah, and you did allow them to form up reserves, so that might not be as useful as I would have anticipated. Okay, we've deciphered Japan there. That's lovely. Let's go ahead and decipher the Soviets. I think they might be one of the next important targets. By the way, let's keep an eye here on the Italians, and you can see the Italians are dramatically suffering from from missing supply and armaments. So yeah, okay, this here we need to hold. Really, this stop. This attack is not going anywhere. Stop it. Right, Rostock. Yeah, they are forming into strong defensive line here, but that's fine. Yeah, let's reinstate Denmark. That's fine and lovely. Just thinking about that actually. Good, and our cavalry divisions have arrived over here. So whenever we do find a spot where we think we can exploit that a little bit, that might be a good thing to do. So let's actually grab you over here, sign you to this, and sort of try to dash onto Magdeburg if we can at some point. I mean, there are only 2 divisions over here, there are only 3 over there, so that might be alright. Japan declaring war on the Philippines in May 1941. This is extremely interesting. This might trigger off a chain of events that will very likely pull the Americans into the war. Very good for us, actually. Insufficient resources. What is that, rubber? Rubber from British Malaya. Why is that collapsing so quickly? I really don't know. Okay, let's buy a little bit more from the Dutch East Indies. That should be okay. Justification. Japan. Yeah, not a big surprise. Low manpower. Yeah, I know that. You can invite your faction. Japan. America. Yeah. Happily gonna pull you in. Yeah, and Denmark, which we've just liberated, is immediately pulling them into the war. And that's fantastic to see, because the giant has awakened now, so that's great, and that will pull us into the war with Japan fairly soon, though, so let's see about that. Call to arms. Yes. Okay, so there's the war against Japan. Again, not a big surprise. Not much that we're going to do about that actually for now. We're only going to basically defend in Singapore, but that's alright. Look at that. Just a mixture of light ships here from Italy trying to fight against us. Okay, nice. Sanction Japan is completed because I think it's bypassed effectively, but Hong Kong is still being built up, so that's good to see. Unassigned divisions. Yeah, let's put you into overseas defense. I don't care. Luxembourg? Really? Was Luxembourg never part of the war? No, they must be. Oh no, I think they're only joining the war against Japan. Right. Let's look at this. So, by the way, there is one of these synthetic fuel refineries over here. Obviously, oh, at least, yeah, no, it is a refinery. So I suppose what we're going to do is we're going to try to smash against these 3 divisions over here. Try to make sure that we are attacking over here, and then we are going to join in with these guys and going to... Is that a different province? Yeah, it is. And then going to try to get into Magdeburg, or at least try to get into this area there behind the enemy. Push them a little bit back, force them to pull their forces a little bit closer to Berlin, and I think that would be fantastic. Good, let's see. Non-aggression pact from China, yeah, sure, I'm going to accept that. Insufficient resources still, that's still a big issue. Decisions available. So what have we got over here? We've got Greek parliamentary speech. Honestly, no, we're not going to deal with that too much. Anything else that might be of interest to us? Not really. Couple of operations over here, interestingly. Norway, Ireland, and a lot of war propaganda, which we really don't. I mean, our war support is through the roof anyway. Yeah, the United States might pull us out, but that's fine. We don't need to be too concerned about that. Yes, everyone, please do join wars. It's fine. Everyone fight against Japan. I think Australia is probably the only relevant bit of that. Oh, another agent killed here. That's not great. But what can we do? Okay, and we have, in fact, pushed through against Magdeburg over here. Let's try to make sure that we are exploiting that attack as much as possible. So let's pin these guys in. Let's move into here. And let's at least pull one guys to attack there so that all of these guys here are pinned in while we are exploiting their rear here a little bit. Seems to be wide open. Where are you guys going? Yeah, no, let's actually stay here for a second. Okay, we got a nice overrun there. You guys do need to attack here now because that's simply how it is. And what we could do, I suppose, is try to attack into here. This is a tough fight, but I do think that it would be nice to capture 5 divisions over there. And every damage that we do to the Germans does mean that they are losing a little bit in terms of equipment and all of that. Okay, you guys do need to come here. Okay, Magdeburg itself seems to be holding out relatively well. And this is still a very huge attack over here. Let's try to throw them out here. It's going to be really tough. And these guys do have proper strength, so they weren't really affected by any of the shortages that we induced there. Okay, you guys do need to understand that your front line has shifted a little bit. What, let's say over here. Right. Okay, this fighting over here not really going in our favor, honestly. So I suppose we need to stop that. Yeah, let's stop that here for a second. You guys are withdrawing, that's alright. But yeah, let's at least not try to get overwhelmed here too much. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine if they're trying to attack across the Elbe River there, so that's going to be alright. Any weak point down here? Cologne? No. This area? Maybe? No. Really nothing that we can break through. Engineer Company 2 done though, so that's lovely to see. Industry, we are doing fine, I think. Engineering, fine. Air Doctrine. Air, I mean, the next level of strategic bombers would also be fairly lovely. But I do think we need to do at least some naval stuff if we are fighting against Japan now. So let's go ahead and do the cruiser guns. Well, or what we could do is bracket shooting, actually. That will lead to pretty good effects over here, yeah. So let's do that. Spend a bit of power there, and that's fine. Okay, thinking that we do have a lot of air experience here, we should burn that off a little bit and go to production, and then have a look at our Lancaster bombers and see whether we can increase something over here. So maybe the engine. I think their bombing ability really doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it's such a small effect there, so really that doesn't help us out at all. Range, it might be a little bit nice. and reliability. Let's do it. And then of course we're going to decommission the Mark 1, and then we're going to ask these guys over here to be producing the Mark 2 at a very slight cost in efficiency there, but that's going to be a-okay. Right, this pocket here, these guys are struggling, so that's alright. I mean, the Germans are struggling. That's okay. Would be quite as okay if it wasn't the Germans who are struggling. Good. Right, you guys do try to push over here. Just a small attack. Doesn't really stand out, but maybe it's going to be useful to exhaust them there. No, it really just doesn't. It just really doesn't. Okay, as I was saying about the Focke-Wulf. Focke-Wulf 200, 2000. And basically a very long-range aircraft, a converted passenger aircraft that the Germans did use to spy on the German, on the British convoy system, and basically direct their U-boats. Wasn't really a threat as an aircraft in itself, but it was definitely a threat in terms of... Ooh, this is nice. We're getting a lot of good fuel here. Let's actually take a look at construction. See, yeah, we've got still the civilian factories up there. So I'm thinking it would be fantastic if we could build this up a little bit faster. And maybe repair some of this stuff here. So maybe we can actually go ahead and ask, well, ask for a little bit more rubber. Might as well ask, actually, we might as well ask British Raj, I suppose. Yeah, ask you for rubber, and then what we're going to do is we're going to ask for a little bit less oil than we're currently doing. British Malay, of course, is going to send us as much as they can. But Iraq, if you're not going to deliver to us, if the Dutch East Indies are not going to deliver to us, and if Iran is not going to deliver to us, I think we can buy a little bit less. Still be positive in our fuel here, and get a lot more going in terms of construction. Yeah, that seems fairly nice. We've lost a convoy over here to some Japanese subs. Not a big issue yet. Philippines are strong for now. Decisions are available. Greek Navy, yeah, don't need that. Gonna deal with that in between episodes though. Another convoy sunk over here, that's okay. Ooh, just Jesus, look at all of these Americans coming into the war in Europe. Yeah, I think Germany is in for a very nasty surprise over here. But so far they are holding out, and they are holding out pretty well. How about down here in Italy though? I really wonder. Yeah, we've got still a couple of German divisions, and they are not completely out of strength. The Italians are suffering pretty badly, but the Germans still have some fighting spirit going. 150 factories, and that's still about 70, well, maybe a little bit less than 70 military factories. But still something. That being said, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I do hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.